Greetings, YouTube friends. Today, Mars stations retrograde at 6 degrees Leo. In this video, we'll dive into how Mars retrograde periods affect financial markets and specific assets. Financial astrology can seem complex, but today I'll show you a simple and effective strategy that you can start using on your charts right away. Financial astrology has two distinct sides, interpretive and technical. For example, we can talk about the meaning of Mars changing directions. Mars is the planet of action. So when Mars retrograde periods come, it can put a damper on motivation or forward momentum. This specific station happens in the first 10 degrees or decan of Leo, which is ruled by Saturn. This can put further pressure on Mars, asking Mars to focus on structure and discipline instead of forward action and momentum. From a technical side, we can use natal charts and technical analysis charts of a stock or a cryptocurrency to identify key planetary cycles and the effects of those cycles. Let's take a look at some charts together. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average weekly chart. One simple method of financial astrology is to simply apply an astrological event like a Mars retrograde period to your technical analysis chart. I do this by dropping a vertical line on the date of the astrological event. Then I use a secondary technique where I also apply a horizontal price line at the close of the candle on either the day or the week or the hour, whatever time frame I'm trading of the astrological event. And then I look for patterns around that price level. Oftentimes this price level will act as support or resistance. But also we can look for patterns of when price will return to that price level. So I did apply the Mars retrograde periods to the Dow Jones Industrial Average chart back to 2012, and I found a very reliable pattern. Price tends to return to the same level that it was at on the day or week that Mars stationed retrograde at least once and sometimes many times during the Mars retrograde period. Here's an example of that here in December of 2022. We have another example of it here in 2020. 2018 is our outlier event. We did not return to this level until well after Mars stationed station direct. Here again, in 2016, you can see that price tapped this level multiple times. And then in 2014, price just chopped around this level. And then in 2012, Mars actually stationed direct at almost the same price level that it did when it stationed retrograde. So these are some of the simple ways that we can just begin by applying astrological events to our charts and looking for patterns around them. Now I've got one other method that we're going to take a look at. Let's look at the Google chart. Okay, so here is the Google chart, and I applied the Mars retrograde period stations to the Google weekly chart, and I started to notice a repeating pattern, which is that these, on the Google chart specifically, Mars stations are correlated to weekly trend changes. And as a matter of fact, in 6 out of the last 7 events since 2012, we have seen a weekly trend change the week of or within 1 week of the Mars stationing retrograde. So this got me curious about the Google natal chart. So I pulled up the Google, actually this is the first date of trade natal chart. And if you aren't familiar with how to run one of these charts, I actually made a video about how to find first date of trade charts. So go ahead and check that out. There'll be a link in the video description below. I noticed that on the Google geocentric natal chart, first date of trade natal chart, we have a Mars-Mercury conjunction. And that's the first thing I scan for on a first date of trade chart is conjunctions, because that will tend to indicate a ruling cycle in any particular asset. So then I go over here and I drop some really excellent tools that I have on my chart that allow me to measure the Mercury-Mars synodic cycle on my technical analysis chart. These tools are provided by Time Trades, and I highly recommend their software. So I'll put a link also for that in my video description below. And what I found is that there is a distinct correlation to weekly trend changes associated with Mercury and Mars completing 360 degrees travel and forming from any particular given swing high or swing low. So I labeled the swing low from October of 2023, and lo and behold, we also have a double confirmation of a pivot incoming next week from a different perspective, from the perspective of tracking the Mercury-Mars synodic cycle. So this tells me that there is a very high probability chance that we will be looking for a pivot high on Google next week. All right, friends, that's a wrap. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss an update. If you're interested in personalized astrology readings, you can visit my website at margotamala.com. Also, check out my bi-weekly newsletter, the Astro Edge Report, and come join in the conversation at my growing Discord community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.